Reading about two old buildings that were allegedly built by Freemasons in the early 1800s. This is pre-Civil War, okay? Pre-Civil War. Now, this is not there anymore. This is we're standing on Canal Street. The statue isn't there. That's Rubenstein's. This building, this stone building's still there, okay? This was the old believe that was the is that the cotton no, it wasn't the cotton exchange. It was the billiards hall. Okay, all this was supposedly built for pool tables. Big stone building. This is the Rubenstein shopping Rubensteins, if you ever heard of Rubensteins on Canal. So if you're standing on Canal Street looking at Rubensteins, the building used to be right here and you see it. It looks like a large, massive stone building. Of course, it's not there anymore. And there's a couple of buildings, but these two we're going to be talking about. This one, which and the second one, the all stone, built by Freemasons, but pre-Civil War. Now these stones heavy, okay. Now pre-Civil War, I want you to think about this, okay. We don't have vehicles. We don't have 18-wheelers and interstates. No, we got steamboats. I don't even think they had steam-powered engines yet. But they had boats floating up in the rafts, wooden rafts on the Mississippi River. No railroads yet, I believe, down here. And but anyway, they found a way to bring all the stone here and haul it on horse. I don't know if you can see these horses. That was your transportation back then. This right here. So how did they get all of this stone there from God knows where it come from in the world? Wasn't quarried down here, that's for sure. And they transported it to New Orleans magically, and then they put it on, I don't know, a little cart with a horse or two pulling it. This stuff's heavy. Also, this is all swampland, okay? So, like, how did it didn't sink? Well, they claim, and I'm reading this now, they claim that they drove, and I want you to think about this, okay? Now, the second building was built in 1890. That would be the this one here. Okay, it was built 1890. They claim they drove. I want to read this here. Get the number right. I want to say it was 1600. Over 1600 pounds. Okay, to keep the building from sinking. Now, if you ever seen pollards before, they look like, if you can imagine so here it is, square hung cypress pollen. So they were driven into the soil and an iron frame erected. Okay, so they had to put and I'm trying to find the exact number here. I want to say it was 1,600 and something pounds they drove into the ground. Cypress pounds. Now, this isn't the regular little pounds that look like a traffic pole. These were big square pounds because it had to hold all this weight, right? Now, how did they... We're talking about horse and buggy era, okay? No motorized vehicles at all. How did they plow? How did they put 1,600 plowings, long plowings that they use plow drivers, those bing, 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 bing things to put them in the ground? How did they do this in the 1800s? I mean, how? How was this even possible? Here it is, 1850. Yellow pine pollens of various lengths, driven through two layers of ancient cypress stumps. Now, I'm going to tell you something about cypress trees. When the cypress trees grow out the ground, all around the tree, and I'm talking like 15 feet in each direction, there's stumps that stick out of the ground, like little stumps. The root system is ferocious. You cannot just rip a cypress tree up out the ground like that. So how the hell did they drive pine or cypress pollens? How did they drive it through this? With what kind of machine did they use? They didn't have motorized pile drivers. What they did this, they put. You mean to tell me they put 30-foot long pollens, cypress pollens that they milled somewheres. They brought it down here, 30-foot long pollens. They brought them, They brought them here on horseback buggy? How many horses it would take to pull that many pollens, okay? On a wooden street with a muddy pothole street with wooden wheels. And they took 1,850 30-foot long yellow pine pollens, drove them through 2 layers of ancient cypress stumps, which is impossible to do, without a machine. Like, they did this by hand. They want you to believe that all the Irish immigrants got up there with sledgehammers and drove 1,850 pilings, yellow pine wood, through cypress stumps. How do they drive yellow pine pollens through cypress stumps? It's almost impossible. It is. You probably couldn't do it today with today's technology and machinery. So yeah, ask yourself these questions. How do these large buildings get here so long ago? And why are all of them libraries now? The ones that still exist, they're either an old mint building, some kind of government building, some old Freemason lodge, or it's always some kind of government building or post office. Very, very strange. And I would like to know, how in the hell did they take 1,850 pine pilings in 1890 and drive it through 2 layers of cypress swamp cypress stumps, which, if you ever been around a cypress tree, you know what the stump, all around the stump, it's just a root system that's ferocious. It never comes up. You see these old cypress trees in the swamps that have been dead for over 100 years, and they're still standing because the root system surrounding the stumps are like impenetrable. They took pine wood, something that's not as hard as cypress, and they drove it through there without a machine, without a state-of-the-art 21st century pile driving machine. 1,800 pollens to hold up this massive stone structure on top of swamp. It's impossible.